Hello friends, I'm Dr. Pooja Kapoor, consultant pediatric neurologist, Paras Hospital, Gurgaon, director and co-founder Continua Kids. So today, let's have a word on impact of screen time in autism spectrum disorder. So there are certain guidelines which have been brought up by American Academy of Pediatrics as well as Indian Academy of Pediatrics in context to the amount of screen time which a normal child also should be exposed to. So it is written there that till 18 months of age, a child should not be exposed to screen time. So screen time includes anything to do with television, iPhone, iPad, mobiles, etc. So the only exception to this is that you can have a video chat with a relative or grandparents or friends or peer age group. But apart from that, nothing. So till 18 months, no screen time, no visualization of any cartoons or any program which is for children, nothing. From 18 months onward to 2 years, you can start some screen time, but the condition is that you have to sit with the child. You just cannot prop your child in front of the television and let him be glued to the screen, because there are 3 reasons by which we prohibit the introduction of screen time before that. Because the early age is the developmental age of the cognition, speech and language, and also of the behavior. So screen time is proven and studied to disrupt all these 3 things. So it has been studied that once the child is glued to the screen, because it's a one-way transmission and the child is only observing, there is no way he can communicate or socialize through the screen time or put his way forward. So because of that, there is lack in the development of speech and language. Similarly, because again this is a one-way transmission, the child just have to visualize the screen as the screen changes. He doesn't have to do any abstract thinking. Vis-a-vis, when a mother is telling a story, he has to visualize the content of the story. He has to make and think about what the visual picture of whatever the mother is telling in a story. So that way the brain is thinking, and because of this abstract thinking, the cognition improves. So it has been proven that all those children who are exposed to screen time in that early development age have lesser cognition as compared to the peer age group who have been told stories or who have been taken in different visualization and have been talked to, or board game have been introduced instead of screen time. The third is this temper tantrums. So all those children who have been exposed to screen time have more temper tantrums, because it is believed that once a child does not like the content, he just flips it with his fingers and reaches to another content. And he also have this intention doing it in the real life. So sometimes we have seen children just fling their fingers in the air just to get the scene moved on. If the mother is telling and they don't want it, they just want to flip it off. And once this does not happen in the real life, the temper tantrum starts. And these are aggravated because they are not able to replicate whatever has happened in the real life. So because of all these factors, it has been restricted. The screen time has been restricted. And that's why after 2 years of age, you can give screen time for an hour. But the condition is that you just cannot leave the child with the screen. You have to be there, because that is the time you can use the technology, you can use the screen time for learning process. But the take home message is, it cannot be just between the child and the screen. You have to give all the sensory input, because with your sound, with your touch, with your tactile, with your visualization, so that the child is not totally glued and goes into the screen world. He has to be there with you and also learn. So you have to interrupt whatever is happening in the screen. You have to say it again and again. Put the child in your lap, just do a bit of the vestibular also, so that there's a connectivity between you and the child, and also the screen is used as a visual factor and nothing more than that. So as these are the guidelines for the normal children, and for children with autism spectrum disorder, again, screen time has been found out as not one of the causative agent, but as a precipitating factor which precipitates more of the symptoms of autism spectrum, because the child just loses the social things. The child start losing the vocabulary and words, the social words, not the word which he memorizes from the screen, not the alphabet, not the colors, not the shapes. So because of that, the screen time has been told as one of the tipping agent or one of the factors which can precipitate the autism like symptoms. So it's always better to avoid screen time. So this take home message is avoid screen time as much as possible. Try to give all the sensory inputs with the playing, in the form of board games or reading or writing or whatever stuff you want to do with your child apart from screen time. So that's all we have for the screen time in autism spectrum disorder. We'll keep you update with other videos based on the autism spectrum disorder. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you very much.